Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I do like video games, and in today's video I want to talk about something that I just recently talked about here on the channel, which is Xbox and the whole third-party rumors. And like I said, I just talked about this, but it feels like instead of things kind of dying down, things aren't even just staying the same. Things are ramping up as far as discourse in the community. And I just want to rant about it because I've talked about it in party chats. I've said what I need to say in party chats. And I feel like it'd be cool to just have those thoughts on video on my channel. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing in today's video. Just going to rant. So let's get into it. Okay, so just in case you weren't up to date, people are freaking out about Xbox possibly maybe going third party, and this all stems from the rumor, or the original rumor, that Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush are going to be coming to Nintendo and PlayStation consoles. Now, that rumor specifically, when someone tells me Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush are coming to PlayStation and Nintendo consoles, and I've said this before, and I'm just going to keep it really brief here, I don't care. I really don't care. I like, if they want to bring them to PlayStation and Nintendo consoles, does not bother me. I've already played Hi-Fi Rush. I got it day one in Game Pass. I beat it. It's fantastic. I beat it twice actually. Once on Xbox and then once on Steam. It's fantastic. If they want to give it to PlayStation a year later, maybe 2 years later, whatever it ends up being, by all means, go ahead and do it. And for Sea of Thieves especially, it's like, it's a live service game. It's been out for 6 years. It's probably got all the people who want to play Sea of Thieves are already playing Sea of Thieves on Xbox and PC, opening that market up, or opening that audience up to PlayStation and Nintendo. Seems like a good idea after about 6 years, in my opinion. Now, the big reason I'm making this video, technically again, because like I said, I covered this, is because today, as I'm recording this, it came out that we will hear Sarah Bond discuss all of these goings on within the Xbox platform sometime in the spring. And this comes from a developer at ZeniMax saying that Sarah Bond will be addressing all of this stuff sometime in the spring. Now, I'm making this video, and I know nobody at Xbox is going to see it, so it's like kind of, you know, just pointless in that regard. But it's my thoughts, and I want to get it out there. Why would you let the community fester like this? Like I already said, I really don't care. It doesn't bother me either way. I'm getting great games for my console and my PC. I'm happy. I really don't care about this stuff. But you're letting the community fester on a topic that is becoming truly toxic. Like, people are actually losing their minds over this. Like friendships are ending over this online. People are getting in full-blown arguments over this online. And Xbox is just going to kind of sit back and let it marinate. Let it fester, let it cook, and let people's emotions go from whatever the hell they're at right now, which is not very good, to whatever the hell those emotions are going to be in April, May, June. Also, if you're going to be addressing this in spring, it better not be in May. It better not be anywhere near the release of Hellblade. And that's what's frustrating. I say this as someone who primarily plays on Xbox or in the Xbox ecosystem, primarily on console or on PC. I love Xbox. But the thing that frustrates me most about Xbox, and I feel like a lot of honest Xbox fans will tell you the exact same thing I'm about to say, is they always seem to have a good thing going and then just shove their foot in their mouth. And in this case, not even shove their foot in their mouth. They're saying, hey, we're going to wait a few months to shove a foot in our mouth. Why? Like a few weeks ago when they announced, 2,000 people being laid off. Horrible, a massive amount of layoffs. Wouldn't that be the time to get all the negative news out? Would that not be the time to get everything negative out on the table and in the past? Like, that would have been the time to be like, hey guys, on top of all this, yeah, we are going to be bringing Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush to PlayStation and Nintendo consoles, And we're probably going to bring some more stuff in the future. That would have been the time to say that. You know what you don't do, or what you shouldn't do, and they did, is you don't go, here's all this negative news, and then in a few months we'll give you some more negative news. Why would you do that? You just had a developer direct and got a lot of positive attention for it. And then you go with the layoffs, negative news, and instead of just piling all the negative stuff right there and getting it all out of the way so you can have a great rest of the year, you're like, let's sparse it out. Here's some negative stuff, and we'll give you some more negative stuff later. And because now everyone is freaking out about, oh, my games are going to be going to every other console now, people are also starting to ask questions like, well, what happens to Xbox hardware? Does that mean they're out of the console game? I mean, surely if you're going to release everything on PlayStation or Nintendo, surely there's no need for an Xbox, right? Now, this is where I push back a little bit, because my thoughts and feelings on this is they're not getting rid of Xbox consoles anytime soon. Anytime soon. And my reason for that line of thinking is that people have built their libraries over the years, over the generations on Xbox digitally, and if you were to just stop your console ecosystem, if you were to just stop it, then what happens to all those purchases? You have to have something else in place as a business, I would think. You would have to have something else in place to tell all your people who played on console that all of your games are going to this thing now. You own them all over there. And right now, outside of the Xbox console, they don't have that thing in place. The closest thing they have in place to that is the Microsoft Store on PC. And not everybody wants to build a PC. I'm sitting here, I'm recording this on a PC. This PC costs like $2,500 altogether. Probably a little bit more than that, honestly. And guess what? Not everybody wants to do that. And PC gaming isn't cheap right now. And Microsoft knows that. They're not going to send all of their console players and say, hey, guess what? Get a PC now. That's just not what they're going to do. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't check out. Because, yeah, they can give you the games that you purchased that are first party digitally on your PC after buying them. I mean, that's how cross-buy works. You buy a game on Xbox from their first party, you also have it on Microsoft Store. But what about third-party games? Not all third-party games are cross-buy on console and PC. In fact, most of them aren't. So they have to have something in place for that to take over once the hardware goes away. That's why I think the hardware is not going to go away. I think people are kind of, doom and glooming right now, and rightfully so, because Xbox isn't speaking up and talking out about this. But I really don't think Xbox hardware is going anywhere anytime soon, within the next 10, 15, 20 years. I don't think we're going to see Xbox just be done with consoles. But I do think that Xbox needs to speak up on this. And me and my buddy Mike were talking about this in the party earlier. We were just hanging out, playing games, and this conversation came up. And we both said, this is one of those scenarios where Microsoft needs to be vocal. They need to be vocal and honest about what they're doing, because they also just put out a blog wire, an Xbox Wire blog, I forget how you say it, but an Xbox Wire blog talking about exclusives. They mentioned the word exclusives, which would make you believe that, well, if they're mentioning it in this blog wire post, then surely they're planning to still have exclusives. So what is it? Is it live service games? Is it the Bethesda catalog of games? That's kind of what I think is going on. I think that ZeniMax, Pete Hines was very vocal about it in those emails that got leaked. He didn't like the fact that they were exclusive to one platform. And he left. And who knows if that's the reason he left, but he made it very clear that he did not like that. He wasn't a fan of it. And if he wasn't a fan of it and he was leadership at the company, it would lead you to believe that a lot of people at that company aren't a fan of it. And maybe that's one of the things that Microsoft is working on right now, trying to figure something out with ZeniMax to make both parties happy so that, hey, we understand you want to ship games on other platforms. We want you to be exclusive. What can we do to meet in the middle kind of thing to make us both happy? And I think that's something that is probably happening behind the scenes. And who knows, maybe I'm way off base. I could be entirely wrong here. And then you look at stuff like for Sea of Thieves, for example, live service games. I think Microsoft's probably having a very serious internal discussion about, I think it's beneficial for us to bring these games to other platforms. And it would be like kind of the same with a game like, State of Decay or even Grounded. And I hesitate to say Halo simply because Halo is tied so closely to the Xbox brand. I mean, since Xbox's inception, Halo has been there. So I hesitate to say that, but I mean, maybe that's even something they're looking at. Who really knows? All I know is the discourse for this whole thing hasn't gotten any better. It's only gotten a lot worse. And Microsoft definitely needs to say something about it before spring. And not so much for me because, like I said, I really don't care either way. If the games are exclusive, that's great. If they want to ship them to PlayStation or Nintendo or whatever and have more people play them, doesn't bother me because I'm already playing them, right? I'm already playing them in Game Pass. I already get them on discounts through Game Pass. I'm already happy. So it doesn't really bother me, but it seems to be bothering a lot of people. And that's something you gotta take care of. That's something that you can't just let fester. Because we're seeing it now, it just leads to a lot of people going insane with rumors or getting really toxic online. And that's never good for the community. So hopefully sooner rather than later, Microsoft comes out, speaks out on this, and kind of sets the record straight. And hopefully it's not anywhere near the release date of Hellblade 2. Because I feel like Hellblade 2 is going to be really positive news cycle for Xbox, and it would suck to have that positive news cycle just kind of spun on its head because of some silly negative thing that you didn't take care of before then. So fingers crossed we get some statements from Xbox sometime soon, but who knows. All I can do is give you guys my opinion, but let me know your guys' opinion in the comments. I do apologize. This video wasn't very organized. It was just a little bit of a rant. I'm going to have a wild time editing this video, but I want to hear you guys in the comments. I know I talked about this topic in a previous video not too long ago. The way the tension is kind of rising in the community, I really do want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on Xbox possibly bringing games to PlayStation? Games to Nintendo? I want to hear from you guys in the comments, please. Let me know how you feel about all that. Leave a like if you like the video. And if you're enjoying this kind of content and you want to stay up to date with it going forward over here on the channel, the best way to do that is consider subscribing. Consider ringing that notification bell because that helps you stay up to date with everything that happens over here on the channel. And it helps promote me, and the algorithm helps push the videos out to way more people. And I always appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.